are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next, the May 16th meeting of the Michigan City Urban Enterprise Association. You can find more information for this meeting by looking at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Call to order this meeting on Monday, April 18th, 2022. Just go through roll call real quick. Tommy. Here. Rodney. Jalen.
Present.
Darren. Here. Skylar is absent. Esther. Absent. Tracy is also absent. And Tyler Gonder here. And our newest member, Dave Hartz. You want to take a minute to say anything? Or?
I'm just fortunate to be able to join you and looking forward to the experience and the opportunity to growing the city.
We appreciate your service on the board.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes from last meeting? If so, can I get a motion to pass?
Motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I second it. All right. So I think we have to go through voting again. So Tommy. All in favor, Tommy?
Yes.
And then Jalen?
Aye.
Darren?
Aye.
And myself, aye. And Dave?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is passed. And old business. Anyone have any old business to go over right now? Or, sorry, new business. No, Director Financial Reports. There we go.
Okay, good evening. I may have to run at 6:30, so I'm gonna take it over. Let you guys know that, so you can take over. In my report, just so you're aware that we've got one residential grant under review and 3 commercial pending. Them give us their documents for the next meeting, so we are getting the word out and people are applying, which is great. The first reminder for the EZB2 filing, which is what companies use to claim the tax credit, and the goal is to start invoicing them by the end of May. So we can start having someone that's coming back to the zone commission. And then we're also distributing a lot of the UEZ maps and brochures across the community, churches, library, city hall, where people can get a copy of a lot of what the zone, but also if they want to file for tax grants or tax for the application, they can do that. Last but not least, we're also trying to get the hybrid policy draft. The city mayor trying to give it to us last week. We got the city attorney right now to look at it so they can review it. So you have a copy in your packet. But there are some things that do not pertain to the UEZ, so kind of want those things to be struck out. So it's just for us moving forward. But that is the template the city is using, and so next meeting you guys can decide if you want to keep meeting in person or just have a policy for hybrid. So in the future, if you need to do a Zoom plus in person, you can't do that currently. Well, policy does not allow that, so we have to by city code vote to make that happen moving forward. So.
Do you see that anymore? I don't think.
It was probably in your email. But
it's just in the email itself.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty thick document with the exhibits, like 4 different exhibits and legal stuff. So let me hand it to the experts. But there are some things when I read it didn't pertain to us, had to do with the city council and all that. So yeah. So
I think they're still figuring everything out.
Well, those are new rules, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I read it, it's like, I thought we could just adopt it. I said, no, it was put in the city council, so I like, let the attorney tell us what the other boards are doing.
Yeah.
And then we can adopt what the other boards are doing. So, and then, but we'll have a draft out, and then you guys can call me up, call me before the meeting. And then if there's big changes, we'll have the attorney make the changes and then bring it to the next meeting. So, but pretty much allows this board to have hybrid meetings. That's the key. You can, but also there has to be a majority in the room at all times.
Right.
Just keep that in mind. So it doesn't. Not everybody can last minute say I want to stay home. You gotta let us know ahead of time that at least 5 is going to be in the room so we can have a meeting, a hybrid meeting. You can't just last minute decide you're not going to show up because then the 4 who are here can't have a meeting.
Right.
That's how it works. Majority of the board has to be in the room.
Yeah, and this
So you're looking forward towards then the fall and winter. So then you're then talking about having to be mindful of then COVID checks and all of those things. So as that plays together, are you thinking that it would be best to be flexible, have the opportunity to be at home as well as?
That give us the flexibility. Right now, we have to be in person or all Zoom. You can't be flexible.
because there's no like written in rules anywhere to give us flexibility theoretically.
So everything that we did all one way or all the other way, is that what it
The way it's currently written, which is why we're trying to change
state
it.
law. No, the government passed a new law a couple months ago, so no citizens are now adopting this new hybrid rule.
Yeah, like this morning, one of the members on their Board of Public Works meeting had issues with their video camera. We could hear them, but they couldn't start the meeting until that person was actually visible on the camera, because they actually already passed these rules in previous meetings. So we're just kind of behind a little.
I don't think does that bring up an issue from our last meeting?
Well, we realized we weren't in compliance, so we have to.
Yeah, so now we're all
That's very person.
Got it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you can make a mistake and say, forgive me, I have sinned.
Absolutely.
But you can't keep doing it.
I don't have worked too many times, the office I worked in.
We didn't know it's not the right.
We didn't know what we didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. So once you know, you gotta fix it. So that's what we're trying to do, make sure you have the flexibility moving forward.
That's the story and you're sticking to it.
That's what I'm worried about for. What else? Last month, the board approved Little Sprout Center for a total of $5,250 for their grant application. So we're now awaiting the receipts. Once we have the receipts, we'll give them the check. So, and that is how the program works. We don't give you a check and you walk away. We never hear from you again. We get the receipts, we'll go walk the property. You get a check. That's how we make sure what was being done. What you asked for was being done. That's just we got staff to do that. We're not experts, but we'll know the wall was built and the roof was put on. There was insulation factor and all that. We don't know it was put in. So that's how we gauge those things. Then the board also went to visit the Blockridge Market, saw the improvements for the opening on May 28th. So ribbon cutting, 10 a.m. I won't say anymore because at some point under public comment or under old business we'll have Ms. Black give us her update. So, what else? You have your financial, your report for 4/30/22. According to the bank statement, we have $280,196.88 in the checking account Horizon. In the money market, we have $10,087.85 for a grand total of $290,284.73, which is the bank right now. Outstanding receivable $710. Claims docket to this date from January 1st to April. With the checks that we have paid to date, and there's one new claim for approval, which is our contract for the month of May. To date, we have spent over $30,000 so far. Bear in mind, we've got a couple outstanding, one outstanding grant to be approved. That was approved. We will have to pay when we don't get the receipts. So I will need a motion to both accept the financial report and a motion to accept the new claim for approval.
Motion to accept the account balances for accounts as of April 30th.
Gotcha.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's approved. There's my list here.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, Tommy?
Aye.
Jalen?
Oh.
Darren?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Myself, aye.
Well, she just walked in, so.
Are you doing the financials?
Yeah.
I did have the chance to look over
Yeah, did
everything.
you get to look over the
Yes, I did.
financials?
Yes,
All right, all right. You're here and
We don't want to read the book yet unless it's not what you're voting on.
Yeah.
So, and then,
motion approved.
yes, and then the motion to accept the new claim
Oh, the motion
for the
to,
month of, yeah, you didn't say that.
Oh,
Motion is approved on the claim.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we want to make sure it's in the record. It didn't take a minute, it wasn't approved.
So I started reading stuff. All right, moving on to new business.
You have one application that was reviewed by the grants committee and who recommended an approval, so I'm gonna let the grants committee team address that.
Right. Let me refamiliarize briefly here. It was... Oh, sure. So,
The town centers.
right, Uptown, the ownership company is Finnegan's Wake LLC.
Correct.
It's the Uptown Theater operating there. And so they applied for a sort of a faux wrought iron fence along 9th Street. We got 2 estimates, and both exceeded or will exceed more than double our max amount for the grant for commercial. But the grant committee reviewed both estimates. They were relatively comparable. And we both felt that it was, it fell within, the guidelines of what we can grant for, and recommend to the board, review and approval.
Does anybody on the board have any questions on the application?
Any questions already before here?
And there was also, not just along 9th Street, there's actually a couple panels along Franklin as well.
Yeah.
In the front of it. In the front of it.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they sit on the corner, so one at, I think it's 10th Street.
Is it 10th
Next to
Street?
Trumbull.
Oh, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 10th Street right there is the stop sign, so they needed something there. I believe it used to have a nice white picket fence around it, and so whatever they do is gonna be better than what's there now, because nothing's there.
Oh, that's 9th Street.
9th Street, it is 9th Street, yeah, I'm sorry.
Right.
So moving forward then to,
So they're requesting 19,000.
No, that's the
No.
quote.
That's their quote.
That's their estimate. That's
Yeah.
one of 2 estimates. The other was for 18.4.
So that's for the maximum.
The next one, yeah, this one's 7,500.
Okay.
And let's see, total. Oh, I guess, you know what, their total grant amount is written in as 19.
Right, yes.
yeah, it seems like it has probably confusion when they put down the grant amount.
Right, and that's actually.
And if I could bring to y'all attention, I noticed that in the one that we did at our prior meeting as well. And I was gonna question it too.
It's
so.
something that we've actually run into almost consistently, almost every application we get. It's very clear in the application itself how, the amounts and everything, but that is kind of a repeat offense for applications is, it usually exceeds the amount.
That's never another to say yes.
Is there a way in the application you can add or put an addendum not to exceed 7,500?
It says right in the application.
So it says in the application.
the way I would examine it though would be that we just,
On that page.
we're not gonna give them the full amount, but we would give them what we could, is the way I would look at that.
Well, on the front of the application,
It does say the reimbursement.
Will reimburse 50% of the
Not to
eligible
exceed.
costs not to exceed
So that's in
$7,500.
there.
Right. So
We can highlight it.
they need
It's more
to,
about how the language is actually.
yeah,
Right.
do they need to
How to
rewrite it?
simplify that to what's his name? Dave just said. On the page.
On that page where you're right.
Not to
I
exceed.
think that would be a good change to our form, actually. Yeah. Right, in parentheses, not to exceed 7,500 or half the.
When we have LLCs like this, just a question, in the city that comes and applies for this type of funding, do we know how this company works with the community?
No.
Is that a concern?
How the applicant works with the city?
How the applicant works with the city?
I mean, with the previous one, like Little Sprouts or even with Pluckers, we do some research, right? We've done
Right,
site
yeah.
visits. I looked up history on.
And it
Little
supports the
Sprouts.
community back. Do we
And
know
In
that?
the application too, they have years in business, years operating, I believe. Time operating, how long has it been at the
I
current
think Tom is
location?
looking more for
I'm not
if they're
talking about
if they're doing
how
any kind
people
of community give backs or community
Exactly.
benefits.
Keeping the money in the community.
Exactly.
no, in that aspect.
I don't think we asked for that.
I don't know if we could legally.
You can ask them how they're involved in the community.
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you? If that company is asking for funding from the
I
city.
agree with you, I just don't know if we're allowed to. Like,
The question is,
investigate.
how do you use that information?
Right.
That'd be the question. Or you can always ask the question, then how do you score that? Because everybody's gonna do it differently.
Right, and I can see that. But
So-
my concern would be, do you hire within the community to work here at the Uptown, or do you go to Chesterton to hire your employees? I'm just curious what we're doing.
If I can, with Blockers, I know that one of the things that Ms. Dottie, for her, was hiring from within the community, locally grown produce and things as such. So in that instance, yeah, to answer your question, that's gonna be a yes. But moving forward with any other, applicants, that, if that is something.
You could ask the
that we can-
question, how will this benefit the community? And then it's open, it's broad, so then whether it's jobs, whether it's donations, whether it's volunteer, it's up to them to answer that question.
Exactly.
How,
But again, I'm just wondering how we are trying to impact the zone in which we're talking about making enterprise. What is it that we're doing as we work with these different entities to assure us that the community is being supported back?
I mean, it does lend itself to community events, which if you want to keep people here, in the bigger picture.
But that would be a question of how often do you rent to those folks within the community? That's a whole nother
It's
question.
Like how the city, give city employees a discount to reserve Memorial Park or the senior center. Would that be something that they could do for local residents, something similar to what the city
That's
does?
tough for a small business to do that.
Yes.
I mean,
It's a
big
really
business is
big
different.
stranglehold.
I mean,
businesses.
I know they've, from my experience, when they've held events, there's a newer restaurant, the Agave Mansion right next to them. And, they do see an influx in business when the Uptown Theater is having events. So I think just by having that venue in the location, it's drawing people draws traffic before and after. I know that they try and source some local spirits and beverage, but long-term or in-depth, what are they doing? That's tough for a small business to answer.
I'm not
And
talking
just-
long term. I'm talking short term. I'm talking about how is it impacting the community and how are you working with the community right now? I'm not talking about in the future. What have you done? What have you done?
So as part of our process, sorry, we really just receive the applications, but, I mean, would you feel, I don't know, not better, but would you be interested in like some sort of interfacing, like we never met with, or I don't know
And
who
that
met
would
with,
be good
but
if we can meet with the applicants
Yeah,
and they
the
can
applicants
come
after-
and we can ask directly.
We can
maybe after the committee's reviewed it initially, we can ask for a 5-minute, from each applicant at our following meeting before approval.
So is this the first applicant we've ever had at the table?
No.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, at the table?
Yes.
In my time?
Well,
Was that a new or
they've
yes?
had other people come to the meetings to advocate for their in the past 3 years now. Obviously because of COVID, but in the past I've had people come to the meeting and talk about their projects. So it's never required. It's never been required to do that.
And I guess another question I would pose for Uptown would be, knowing the type of establishment and an event hall, how frequent is the hall utilized? To get a feel. I mean, they're doing the upgrades and everything as well. And but it's just like I'm not sure. I mean, it's gorgeous inside, but to ask to request this, and they've been there for a while. I'm just curious how many events per year that they. But under different owners, new
Yeah, and
owners.
then they dumped a bunch of money into
Yes.
this one too.
Yes, they
with their
did.
own money
And
too.
arguably within,
A very short
pandemic,
period.
an event hall is not doing much business, so.
Right now,
At this time,
but I think things are starting to pick up,
I agree.
so
I agree.
hopefully we'll see more
And
events.
arguably too, with outdoor space that's actually enclosed, I think that'll lend itself to a much more attractive venue for other, like a wider array of events.
And this fence is going all, looking at the,
The rendering.
yes, that's going all the way down back to the restaurant on the side?
Up to roughly the driveway.
To the
where
driveway that
must not
separates the
have
two,
that, right.
okay.
It will not go it won't go to
Okay.
Agave Mansion, by my
Okay.
understanding.
And just see it, a lot of restaurants are done doing community give backs. So that's something I'm sure Agave will do in the future. It's the same ownership group. Right.
Trying to figure this much.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been, they're brand new, 2 years?
Yeah.
This group, yeah.
Maybe about 2 years.
Agave just has a separate operator.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just rent the place.
But,
Either way, it's gonna help the curb appeal of the whole corner there. And that's a main corridor for people to come into the downtown area, so in my opinion, it's needed. And should we put this to a vote, or do we table it for the next meeting for review, or what do we do?
I'd move forward. I mean,
Yeah.
we can definitely ask people to show up in the future if they want to talk about their project. That's not
Yeah, I
based in
think
person, so that's not a
That
bad
would be a
thing.
good, value add in exchange for the size
Just
of
don't
the
trade with their project
It's-
and their investment.
Well, that educates us as well on
Yeah.
what they're doing and
It
what
helps
other
people to
opportunities.
know who they are, what they're doing.
Right, it's a great question to ask, Tommy. I don't know if it's necessarily an issue yet. Anyone's really abusing our giving power quite yet.
That's not what I was insinuating about power. The only thing I was just wondering is how this particular Uptown works with the community in which it resides in to support it. That's all. That was the question.
Okay,
And that'll be a question for their ownership
yeah.
to discuss, 'cause we can't answer that question.
So are you wanting them to be in attendance at our next meeting?
I don't even know if that's necessary. Again, I'm wondering how we make these determinations about how the enterprise zone is rich, how we make it healthy, how we make it stronger,
Sure, yeah.
how we build it. So I'm just talking about in good stewardship with businesses, LLCs. You reside in a business, in a building, in a community. Do you support the community at all? Do you allow anyone in that community where you reside to come in and get this facility for a discount? Can you collaborate with them to work on certain projects that happen in the community? Do you attend any kind of block community forum where we can help to build up? I'm just trying to figure out how they work together.
If I can, and I agree with you, and I'm thinking, if I'm hearing you correctly, for example, I don't know if they still do, but I know every year one of the parochial schools hold their prom there. So I would think that there may be some type of discount or something in regards to that because they utilize them frequently. So if we have them here, if we have them here, then they can say that, and then we'll know.
Like some community synergy.
Exactly, and then we can say we're now giving them $7,000, and this is what they do to the community.
I agree with that.
Now I understand about security. I understand about the decor and how we want it to look. I'm anal about it. If you come past my house, you drop a piece of paper, I'm coming to pick it up. But I still want to know how my neighbors are feeling about me picking up the paper. Is it irritating them, or are they getting encouraged to come out and pick it up too? That's where I'm at, y'all.
Totally agree.
So my question is, besides us kind of with the knowledge that we have, short of asking the owners or the operators directly, how would you like to get the answer to your question?
I think it comes back to, again, what our understanding and our knowledge is about what actually occurs there. Do we know? As citizens that are sitting at this table, do we have an understanding on how this particular company works?
The only thing that I know is, like I said, I know that one of the parochial schools hold their prom there. There's weddings that has been held there. There's been private events that has been held there. Actually, one of the candidates that's running for mayor just had an event there.
I think not to belabor it is just to say this: if they have a way of sharing with us things that they have done to help enhance and build the community, we would greatly appreciate it to have it. If they don't have it, it's no big deal. But then you still know who you're dealing with.
Maybe that becomes another line item in our form, like how can
community impact?
Yeah,
community impact.
There we go.
That's exactly what it is.
And also we enhance what's the offerings of the downtown. It doesn't necessarily mean it's free. So we have to make sure that there's things we can for people to give away stuff. So that's what we can do.
Isn't the Uptown historic
the impact is
it's a historic building, isn't it? We definitely need to preserve it. We need to support it.
Yeah, store it. But we have great events there. We've had some of our events there, and they give us a price break. So I can speak for myself. And
the people.
That's what I was asking for.
So, I don't want to say too loud, but I say too loud, Tommy. It's funny loud, man. But I know that I'm gonna do it for other nonprofits and community organizations, because they wanted it to be a place where people come and gather.
Sure. And it's good for everyone downtown in the
motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
And also hire a lot of the local catering companies to come and go there. So from my perspective, it's a great venue for the downtown. You don't have to go.
They need to be telling people that. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 2022 business grant program for the Uptown Theater LLC for the maximum amount of $7,500.
I second that motion.
All right, all in favor? Here's the bit. Opposed here.
I wasn't quite sure what you wanted. I didn't want to.
So let's actually do this. Like Tommy, you're Jalen, Darren, Tracy, Dave, and Tyler, Chair, aye. Motion is approved. Enterprise Association 2022 grant application for the Uptown Theater LLC for the total amount not to exceed $7,500.
That's awesome.
Right.
Right.
Yes, all right. Moving forward, does anybody have any old business to discuss right now?
I just mentioned the template a while back. Please look at it. Give me a call before next Wednesday so I can make sure the can make any improvements ready for the next meeting. So,
perfect.
Hybrid template. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yes.
So we have discussed the hybrid template then, that one's off the list. And then, all right, so Pluckers Market update. Dorothy, would you like to take this away?
Okay, so I've been listening to everything, and the funny thing is, last week, or maybe earlier this week, I forget, I was on the radio station Chamber of Commerce, the same club, they were there, the social club, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy was there. And I was talking about me and one of my business partners, Terry Cummins. We wanted to try to get together some events, and I was looking for a hall or a concert place. So I talked with Jeremy about us doing a concert there, and the proceeds that we're going to use them for is really to pour into the community. We're trying to get basketball training programs and computer literacy classes going. This is because Terry had even spoke with Terry last year about this, but we wanted to get Pluckers up first. I was listening to you guys talking about what are you doing for the community. It's funny because so far I've used probably 6 guys from Keys to Hope. I've employed them to help with the remodeling. I've got 3 guys going to be there tomorrow through Friday. So the refrigeration, everything will be done. Sue is supposed to come out Friday. We have the occupancy permit. Here's the thing. Inventory is already ready. Everything is ready. Registers, everything is ready. My human resource manager, we've got applications and everything. So we plan to be open to the general public by Monday. Here's the thing. Yes, the grand opening will take place on the 28th. All the remodeling, all the construction is done. There will be all the meats, dairy, vegetables, and produce. Shelving, things will be, nothing has to be built. Everything will be assembled, we'll be hiring on the spot, shelving, stocking, cash registers going. We have to get this project going. So we are ready to open, and we will, within the next, from this week, in 6 weeks, we'll be fully staffed and furnished with all the inventory. What I was finding was, like with some of the refrigeration and shelving, there were back orders, you know what I mean, months and months. Yeah, it's been tough. Yeah. So that is the only thing. But again, we will be open on the 28th. We will be open to the public by Monday, you know. We've got blow-up inflatable tubes, you know, at the car wash. It'll be out there saying now open. You'll see that on Monday. And hiring and just everything. So we are opening. This project has been a long time coming. Some of you all know the obstacles, but nevertheless, we are open for business. And it's exciting. And you guys were talking about giving back to the community. I'm trying to get with some neighborhood, I guess churches or whatever, because my goal is, you know, with us going to be having produce and vegetables, I want to be able to donate those things, you know, once they leave the shelf life. I have to, you know, I want to donate as a community pantry. So I've gotten with High Praise Outreach. I'm just trying to figure out where. I'm probably going to get with a few shelters. I want to coordinate some things on where, you know, they can pick up these products. I'm not going to throw this stuff away. When you have the food pantries and the donations, they come from grocery stores. You know, there's a date that we can't sell them, but the stuff is still good. You understand? So I don't plan on returning any of that, because you can return it to the store for, you know, a write-off or whatever. My goal is to move it forward into the community. The shelters, things like that. So I have spoken with Auntie Nelson, and I was on the phone last night. Yeah, and so tomorrow she wants me and my general contractor, Mary Laster, we're going to be on there, and then I think she said Purdue University, because we want to talk about the food desert and just how we can pull together and get the foods where it needs to be. So I've hired so far 6 guys have worked from the Keys to Hope. They have worked on the building and remodeling, and they've been getting paid pretty decent. You know, so I've been getting an overwhelming number of calls. I got 3 guys showing up tomorrow. And so the building will be complete Thursday or Friday. It will be complete for Sue to come in and give us our permit. Mary works closely with them, so all of our permits, everything has been pulled. That's the last phase.
Nice.
So, yeah. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been working hard.
Can I just throw something out there? Once the produce and vegetables, when you extend whatever you can out to Keys of Hopes or to the church pantries and such, anything that exceeds from that, the Michigan City Zoo.
I was just gonna
See,
say
and
that.
I've been looking, I'm glad, because I've been trying to find places.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can
They
take
could use
this
a ton
one.
of help.
Yes.
Michigan City
Another
Zoo.
traction supported by our group, kind of indirectly, especially
Michigan City Zoo.
to get marketing for you too and advertisement.
All right, so yeah, I just been trying to find, for me, I live here, okay? And I've always been a person, I wanted to pour into my community. And so I've been talking with the Y as well. We're just trying to find places to do these the thing is, like community basketball training programs, computer literacy, we're going to roll these things out. So I've just been trying to find the places, you know, and coordinate all that. So I'm giving back, and that's who I am, and this is what I do. I want to try to make as much of a change that I can, much of a difference that I can, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So, anything else? Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a welcome addition.
Yeah, and it's been the more and more the signs and the radio and everything. So many people. I mean, it's like, wow, we can't wait. You know, a lot of people know me by name. I'm just like, hey, how are you? But so many people are just so ready.
It's needed.
It's much needed.
I live right around the corner from it, so I'm ready.
Yeah, they shop at Family Dollar.
Yeah.
I literally see shopping carts, you know, and so
Are you feeling the love yet?
yes, I have. Yeah, I'm overwhelmed with it. I am. I am, and I know that it's going to be. So I'm going to make sure that when they open, I'm like, look, don't be discouraged. We're still working, but there's you see a lot of progress. There'll be meats and produce and people. It's like, look, talk to the hiring manager. We're hiring on the spot, but I am going to require them to go to the police station and get a background check. It's just certain things I won't hire you.
Due diligence process.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, if we decide to move forward, go to the police station and bring us back a background check. Here's your uniform, sign your documents. Where do they need to get on that register? Okay, just start doing some things, So, and I've got probably a good 10 people that are waiting to, here in Michigan City that are coming on board.
Nice.
So we just, yeah, that's where we are. So yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Sounds good. Sounds
Open
great.
it up for public comment. I think we're anyone. All right. Get a motion to adjourn this meeting on.
Make a motion. Second.
Darn it.
Motion second.
Darn it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.